Hey, I do have some breaking news for you. The White House just saying President Trump is asking NATO leaders to increase their defense spending to 4% of GDP. Now, remember, the overwhelming majority of these countries are having a tough time living up to their 2% commitment that they made in 2006. Meanwhile, the president hitting Germany's Chancellor Angela Merkel over kowtowing to the Russians. Listen.
If you look at it, Germany is a captive of Russia because they're getting so much of the oil and gas from Russia. I think it's something that NATO has to look at. I think it's very inappropriate. You and I agree that it's inappropriate. I don't know what you can do about it now, but it certainly doesn't seem to make sense that they pay billions of dollars to Russia, and now we have to defend them against Russia.
The former Margaret Thatcher aide Nile Gardiner on if our allies really. To what degree does Europe in general, particularly the NATO, need us as much as we need them in this scenario?
Well, I think firstly, definitely Europe needs the United States greatly on the NATO front. The United States is absolutely vital to the defense of Europe, but also the United States, I think, needs its NATO allies in Europe as well. And so NATO is not just, of course, about the defense of Europe. NATO also serves many U.S. interests on several fronts, not least NATO has key bases all over Europe used by the United States as forward operating bases from which U.S. forces can be deployed all over the world. So I think NATO definitely is in the interest of the United States, but at the same time, you need to have all NATO members stepping up to the plate, pulling their weight, investing more in their defense. And this is why the president has been absolutely right today to challenge Angela Merkel and other leaders in Europe who have been simply not investing enough, actually, in the NATO alliance.
No, not investing enough. This is an absolute joke. If Russia rolled up to the German border with 100,000 troops, the place would collapse. I mean, let's talk about not being prepared. 0 of 6 of their combat submarines aren't operational right now. 9 of 15 frigates are out of service. 0 of their transport aircraft, their big ones, were not airworthy on several occasions last year. 6 of 30 logistics battalions are not fully equipped. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, whether you're talking about fighter jets, whether you're talking about transportation helicopters. If Russia rolled up with 50,000 troops, Germany would have to give them the keys to the country. I mean, I can't believe that they're pushing back on this when the fact of the matter is it's gone on for a long time. They made this commitment in 2006, and they haven't lived up to it.
Yeah, and I agree. You know, the German military today, the state of the German military is an absolute embarrassment for Europe's biggest financial power, Germany. And you pointed out all the deficiencies on the German side. The reality is that if the Russians decided to roll tanks into Germany tomorrow without the presence of US and British forces, for example, defending Germany, the Russians would get away with it. And so the Germans spend a pathetic 1.2% of GDP on defense. That's absolutely unacceptable. At the same time, they're building a pipeline with the Russians known as the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, which is bypassing US allies in Eastern Europe, Poland, the Baltic states, for example. And this is a big economic deal, of course, for the Germans, which is fundamentally doing the bidding of the Kremlin and Vladimir Putin. And so absolutely right, what Trump was saying today, that the Germans are kowtowing to Moscow, appeasing the Russians, undermining the security of Europe with the building of this pipeline. They need to rethink this. This Nord Stream 2 pipeline is very, very bad news for Europe and for the NATO alliance.
You know, right now, Niall, to your point, Henry Hub natural gas in America, $2.81 per million BTUs. In the EU, it's $7.19. Russia at $7.22. Although last year Vladimir Putin said making any price possible, we'll subsidize it just to take market share. In Japan, it's $9.40. And I guess the point is, America has so much natural gas, and we're working on the facilities to liquefy it and export it. Why wouldn't Germany cut a deal with American producers? If we're this great of an ally, they really love us so much, and we're friends. Why are they doing it with Russia?
It would make a lot of sense, actually, to import liquefied natural gas from the United States, which is a huge producer of it, at a lower price. The reality is that a lot of German companies are up to their necks in business deals with the Russians. So this is really what is at stake.
Right.
It's the close financial relationship between German industry and business with Moscow here, and this is what they're trying to protect. And so this is what this pipeline is all about. It's serving really German economic interests at the expense really of the whole of Europe. It's a fundamentally bad deal. It's exactly what the Russians want. And so, yes, the Germans are bowing down before Moscow over this pipeline deal. And the president has been 100% right today condemning this.
Well, I could tell you right now, I'm no body language expert, Niall, but the images that we're getting right now compared to what we saw in Canada seem to be night and day. So if nothing else, the European leaders are at least acting like they're listening to President Trump.
Yes,
Maybe,
well, I hope they are listening to him. Yeah.
Some adjustments. Hey, it's always great to talk to you now. Thanks a lot.
Great to talk to you, Charles. Thanks very much.